Hello comic book lovers, it is I, Chris, your broke comic book collector. Today's video is I am heading out to go to a comic book show. First time in I don't know how many years. It is in Pittsburgh, PA. It's going to take me about 2.5-ish hours to drive. So I am just getting ready. I got my printed out ticket, portfolio here for some comic books. And you've seen this book before. This is, you know, where the artist signs the book for me. Shopping list is in there. So, what do you say we get on the road and we head on down to Pittsburgh? Comic book lovers, I am down here in Pittsburgh. Took me a lot longer than I thought it would, but yeah, I got off the wrong exit. Then I had to stop and get some gas station breakfast, but I am here now. I'll take some shots of it of the outside of the hotel. I don't know how Apple Maps, I don't know how they took me, but man, I was taking some seriously messed up back roads here in down by Pittsburgh. Some of the hills I was going up and down, and the curves I had to take. But I'm here, so let's head on in. I wanted to jump on here real quick before we head inside, because I found this show, I don't know, a month or two ago, and I went in, you know, bought my ticket, all that other stuff, made my shopping list and everything. And then I realized like a week ago that today, March 22nd, is the 5th year of my brother's passing. So, in a way, I hate saying it this way, but I guess this is my way of celebrating, and I hate using the word celebrating, but of my brother's passing. So, I have a feeling he's with me here on his day of his passing 5 years ago, and we're going to a comic show together. right, comic book lovers. The show is just about closed, so I think it's time I head home. I think I did pretty good. I didn't do as great as I thought I would, but I did all right. There are some things I wanted, but I sat back. I didn't really want to. I didn't like the condition of them, but anyway, I'm on my way home. Alright, comic book lovers, I am back from the show. It's the next day, hence the different shirt. Just to get right into the haul I got from the show. This book here, you remember this book? I had, I don't know his name. I want to say Arvil Jones, I think it is. I think it's Arvil Jones. He signed this. The story behind this signature, which I actually love when there's a story behind a signature. He was signing away, and see that dot, that spot right there? That was an accident. He was just signing away, and then that's like a, what do you call them? Paint pens or something? Well, he was signing, and he picked up his pen, and all of a sudden it decided to poop on my page. So, yeah, the look on his face and everything. But anyway, yeah, he's like, well, you can't close that book for a while. So I had to walk around, hold the book open until I get back outside. Let's see. To start off, my shopping list you saw, my Just Because book, plot number 1. Bought this from, I was actually at a dealer. I think I put a sign up, or a picture up. It was Nick's Comics. I think that was the name of it. No, this isn't from them. Yeah, this is from them. Yeah, I bought this from them. I like the DC and the 20 cent. They're even. They're not cut off. The comics code isn't cut off, because a lot of times these books you'll find something's cut off on them. And then we've got, off my list again, Star Slayer number 2. First appearance of Rocketeer. It does look really sharp. I really haven't taken it out of the bag. But yeah, you know what I don't understand? Why do some dealers use these stickers that really don't come off? You would think when there's another one in here somewhere. You think they need to change prices? They could have a sticker they just peel off relatively easy without leaving all this residue on it. The same dealer I got that. I got Fraggle Rock number 1. First appearance of the Fraggles in comics. I remember on HBO when that first came out. I started watching it right away, and I fell in love with the show right away as soon as I saw it. It's not the newsstand I wanted, but now I'm not in such a hurry and a rush to get it. I actually found a copy. And it's not in terrible shape. I mean, I haven't had it out of a bag. Yeah, it's got some color-breaking spine ticks, but it still looks really good. And then I found Hanna-Barbera's Laugh Olympics number 1. They didn't have number 8, but this is with that gorgeous date stamp on it. I do love my date stamps. This is the first appearance of Captain Caveman in comics, and the first appearance, can I pronounce their name, of the Creepleys? I can't remember how to pronounce their name, but in comics. Now, ones that were Not on my list. This is Justice League of America number 43. This is the first appearance of the Royal Flush Gang. This I bought from it was a husband and wife, and he was just selling his collection. There were some other books in there that I liked, but I didn't like the condition of it. Now this one here is a lot better than that one I got from that shop in Orlando, that other Justice League. The Justice League and Justice Society battle. I mean, the spine is completely riddled with spine ticks on that one, but this one's pretty sharp looking. And another book that was on my list I did want, but not for that show. This is Spider-Woman number 1. This is her first solo title. Very well presenting book. Don't remember what dealer I got it from. There was others, but they were like $50 or something like that. And I passed on those. This was less than half of that. Another one, I really didn't put it on my list, but I did see it there, and I decided to grab it. There's a funny, well, to me it was funny, behind this book. Howard the Duck, number 13. This is I will say, the first full appearance of Kiss in comics. I like the band Kiss, so I did want it, but like I said, I didn't really put it on any of my list. Now, when I was looking at this book, behind me was another dealer who I knew had the same book, but they wanted more, and something inside me, I was fighting with myself because I wanted to put it down, turn around, go to the other dealer, and look and see theirs, and if it was in better shape, it would not have been much more than this, but then again, something else inside me said, no, that would be rude. I know, you'll tell me, that ain't rude, it's just competition. You're right, but there's something inside me that wouldn't like that very much. I would probably feel bad. It presents very well, too. It's a very well presenting book. The last book I walked out with, it's a cover by, it's just something I've always loved, this cover. This is Action Comics, $5.94. This is that Booster Gold, I'm assuming, beating up on Superman, because that's what it looks like in this cover, and I've always loved this cover. It was the last book I bought walking out of that show. There was a slab I was looking at. I kept going back and back, and I'd look at it, put it away, look at it again, put it away, I'd go away, come back, I'd look at it again. But it was on my list, but not, it was on like that far, far away list. And I just couldn't justify paying what they wanted for it. It was an old CBCS slab of Tales of Teen Titans number 44. It was a 9.6, and I wanted to get it, but it just wasn't. If it was a different book, I might have pulled the trigger, but it just wasn't something that was high on my list to get. Thoughts about the show? The show in itself, you know how sometimes you go to a show and let's just say it's heavy on Golden Age, and you go next year, you go back to that show and it's not heavy on Golden Age, but it's heavy on something else. Well, that's what I think this show was. I think it was heavy on superheroes, because it was a lot of superhero whatever all over the place, and then there was a lot of like incentives, foils, ratios, so there was a lot of that too. So they didn't have a whole lot of what was on my list, so I picked up what I found. And there was one dealer who did have Scooby-Doo, the Marvel Scooby-Doo #1. And they also had, what's the name of that? Josie and the Pussycats number, I can't remember the number, 45 or 46, the first cover appearance of Josie and the Pussycats. But the condition they were in, I don't know. They may have been worth it. I don't know, but to me, it just wasn't worth paying what they wanted for it for the condition they were in. So I passed on them. Now, in general, the show, I didn't want to go back to Fan Expo because that's a few comic dealers, but it's really heavy on the other stuff. You know, the fan-made stuff or the Funko Pop people, tons of cosplayers. Not what I'm looking for. Three Rivers Con, another one down in Pittsburgh. I thought about that one, but there again, that's just like a smaller Fan Expo, so it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a comic-centered show. A lot of people suggested this one. I went to this one. It was very comic-centered. I did enjoy myself. I actually stayed there. 11, 12, 1, 2. I stayed there almost 5 hours until my back couldn't stand. You know, it was telling me, hey, look, you've just been standing too long. You know, you're not really moving around much. I think it's time to go. So I left about an hour before the show was over. Where it was at the, what do they call it? Crown Plaza Hotel, I think it's called. The hotel was, well, the part I was in, beautiful hotel. The outside was very, you know, I don't want to say pretty, but it was, I mean, it was like a standard hotel. It looked very nice. The parking lot, however, though, holy crap, it was horrendous. It was just covered. Well, I guess it wouldn't be covered in, but there was potholes everywhere. It was terrible looking. It really brought that hotel down, just the amount of potholes. I probably should have got some video of that, but I didn't. Now, would I go back? No, because it's too far. For me, it's too far for me to justify driving all that way just for one day. It just doesn't make sense to me. And unless there's another way to get down there, the way Apple Maps took me, like I said, I was going, it had me going down back roads and, you know, making 90-degree turns up 70-degree hills. I mean, it was just horrible. Unless there's got to be a different way to go down there. But I probably won't go back again, so I'm not worried about it. I probably should have waited and just gone to the ones on the west side of Cleveland or down in, I think there's one in Canton. I probably should have saved my money and went to that one. But anyway, comic book lovers, that is my haul from that show. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, be your own collector, be kind to one another, and I'll see you later.